Recording. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Wow, that was super quiet.
Yeah.
Welcome to Precarious Pixels. As always, I am Tim. With me, the quiet man across from me.
I'm Bob.
Quiet Bob. You want to be called Silent Bob?
No, just mediocre volume Bob.
Mediocre volume.
Alright, I guess that was my weird intro for the day.
That's fine. You can have your weird intro.
Every week it's going to be different.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
New intros are good.
Keep you on your toes!
Oh my god.
Hope you're not deaf, guys.
Yeah, that was bad. Levels. You're supposed to have levels.
Oh, levels?
Yes. So,
What's the final boss?
what's the what?
At the end of the levels.
Oh, at the end of the levels? Bowsette.
That was...
She apparently is everywhere.
Don't Google her.
Yeah, well, just know it's not safe for work.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yeah. I didn't even realize there was like 20 Bowsettes when we were at New York Comic Con.
There were a lot.
There were a lot, and I was just like, really? This character? Why?
That one and The Man Who Laughs was the big thing this year. The Batman Who Laughs.
Oh, the Batman Who Laughs, yeah,
His
from the Dark Metal.
Eye Crown of Thorns.
Which I was surprised, a lot of people, I was just like, how are you seeing? But then, like, some of them I could definitely see. I was like, oh, okay, I can see your eyes pretty plainly. But
Mirrors.
some of them were good.
He's like Penn and Teller combined.
Yes. Yeah. I'm trying to think, what was the costume you saw the most at Comic-Con?
Diva?
Diva.
Or Captain America. There were a lot of captains.
There were. There was even I saw a Deadpool's.
Yeah, there's always Deadpool. Deadpool in different costumes.
Yes. There was a lot of, like, I saw, was it Donald Trump Deadpool? Which he was really funny. And he was like, make America taco again, or something like that. Like, you know, chimichangas for everyone. I don't know. There's a lot of those.
I feel like if I say something about that, I'm going to be considered racist, so I'm going to leave it alone.
Okay.
I'll go with this one. That would be the last thing I would expect Trump to say.
Yes.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, there was a lot of different ones. Like, there was combined stuff too. I saw Boba Fett, Harley Quinn.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
I was like, wow, I guess that kind of works, but it's really weird. There was people dressed as pop figures in boxes.
Yes.
Which I thought was pretty funny. But yeah, that was that. Didn't realize that was like going to be like the big costume this year. So I went to the movies.
You did.
That was a horrible segue.
You bought your tickets in advance 6 months early.
That's right, because I've been waiting for this for so long. A Star is Born, which...
Starring the great Judy Garland.
Yes, Judy Garland, 1954.
Is that actually the year?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Crazy.
And then I think Barbra Streisand was the 70s, I want to say, or 80s, early 80s. Sure.
The King Kong one.
The King Kong one.
Doesn't she get chased by King Kong for that movie?
I have no idea. I don't think so. I don't know.
I feel like that's probably not true,
Yes.
but it would have been a better movie.
It would have been. Like, just randomly, like...
People kept showing up saying, you can't be a singer, you're a giant ape.
Mm-hmm.
Stop climbing the Empire State Building.
I could see that.
Yeah.
And then King Kong is discovered by Barbra Streisand.
Yeah. She keeps getting drunk.
Yes.
I should watch that movie.
What? Which one?
The one we just made up.
Well, we should write it and make it.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Take that, Bradley Cooper.
That's right. No, this is going to be the sequel. A Star is Born 2.
A Star is Born, Skull Island.
That's right. It's about, and we reverse it so it's like a girl finding a guy singer.
Okay.
But it happens to be a giant ape.
Yeah.
I think it works perfectly.
You think they'd let us license him, or would we have to go like
the
mighty Star is Born young approach?
I don't know. How long has King Kong been a character?
A long time.
I know. And
Or
like
you
you could
could
like we
just
could make a
like
Sherlock
movies.
Holmes movie if we wanted to. We could.
Apparently, anybody can.
Yeah, that's right. Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly are going to make an amazing one.
Apparently, the same year as what's his name? The Robert Downey Jr. has got another one coming.
Oh, really? They're going to do another one?
I saw a picture that implied it.
Okay.
He was in the costume, so unless he's just doing this horrible Halloween prank where he pretends to make a movie everybody wants to see
Yeah. He could do it.
early for Halloween.
I don't know who's going to be the villain in it, but
Jude Law.
Jude Law.
Watson's
going to
gonna be the villain.
I'd love to see a Holmes versus Watson movie.
Holmes versus Watson 2, Bruise Control.
Yes, Bruise Control.
Because as we know, Sherlock Holmes is an excellent boxer.
Yes. Who knows how to kick the crap out of everybody.
And he tells you all about it before he does it.
That's right.
Sorry, you were talking, or you were
Yeah, I'm
talking
sorry.
about the
Oh,
movie
yeah.
you went gaga over.
Yes. Good one. So, A Star is Born. Real basic premise of like an old singer finding a young new talent, kind of like that nobody's noticed quite yet, but also speaks a lot to like alcoholism. Like this is like a really like heavy movie on that kind of stuff. Like I didn't expect it to be kind of like that hard R that it was. Because I'm pretty sure they say the F word at least like 5 times or 6 times. Like they go pretty, and I think there's like, I mean, there's sex scenes, but they don't really show anything. But I think there's a nude scene in there, like just quickly. Like it's not like a big thing where it's. I think it's like Lady Gaga in the bathtub or something along those lines. But like the big thing of it is just like Bradley Cooper is like a horrible alcoholic, and just like how that affects him and how that was, you know, brought on by somewhat of his fame and like him not dealing with the problems and like all that kind of stuff. But overall, like great movie. Like the cinematography, it feels like when they're doing like the concert stuff, it feels like you're like it's like a concert video kind of thing. It really like it captures that like, you know, audience, like the stuff on the stage, the lights, like all that kind of stuff, and like going on the tours. Like I think he captured that pretty well, which he directed this, so I think he did a really good job with it. And I think Live Nation actually even the iHeartRadio people, like I think they produced this as well, like they're part of producer on it.
Maybe that's how they got the
The
clips. Maybe they filmed a couple scenes in front of some of their concerts.
Yeah, because I mean, who wouldn't go to see like, you know, Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper like just doing like random songs or whatever?
Well, John C. Reilly toured for a little bit when Walk Hard came out.
Oh, really?
He
Walk
actually
Hard?
did a couple concerts as Dewey Cox. For real?
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I would have seen it.
Yeah.
He could sing.
Some of those songs were pretty decent if they weren't horribly offensive.
Of course, but also, you know, John C. Reilly is a good singer.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I
Step
probably
Brothers.
the what?
It's Step Brothers.
Step Brothers. Yeah. Not, you know, the musical he was in.
He was in a musical? The Gangs in New York?
Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the Dead Rabbits musical that he performed. But yeah, Star is Born, good movie. Bradley Cooper does a really good Sam Elliott voice. Sam Elliott's in this, plays his older brother. Also kind of his tour manager too. But like, you know, they have some like animosity towards each other and stuff, but it's really well done. I think I would have liked to see maybe a little bit more in depth on what Lady Gaga's character goes through. But it seems like it's more about Bradley Cooper in this a little bit. But like she kind of like it kind of explains almost what happened to her a little bit too. Like she, you know, gets swept up in like an image kind of like driven thing, but he's trying to tell her like don't get too into your image. You know, you're a good singer. You don't need all this other garbage. And you know how that affects her and how it affects them as a couple and stuff like that. But really well done. I definitely recommend it. I'm trying to think, like there was like no other really big movies that came out this weekend. Well, I mean, we saw Venom, But I'm
We
trying to.
talked about that. No, the other one this weekend was the Bad Times at the El Royale.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we were definitely gonna go see that.
The biggest movie.
That's right.
But no, it's we'll have an update on that next week
Yeah.
because I think it's gonna be really good.
Yeah, I think so too.
But you forgot the most important person that was in that movie, and I think it would be the first time I've seen this person in a visual medium outside of stand-up since they disappeared.
Oh, what's that?
Dave Chappelle.
Oh
in
yeah.
that movie, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen him do like his stand-up specials and stuff.
But I haven't seen him. No TV. I don't think he's done any real interviews. Like I think he did it with 2020.
Yeah, and he was
something like
actually
that.
on Inside the Actors Studio, which I thought was pretty funny.
Well, he's talented.
He is. He's really good.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen him in a non-convincing role,
Yeah.
but I'd like to see him act in this movie. So I'll probably check it out eventually because I like most of the people in it. I've never seen Lady Gaga act outside of Machete Kills. I know
Right.
you've seen her on like
I've seen
American
her
Horror Story.
American Horror. She did a good job, and this she did a great job too. But especially like the end. Like there's some stuff at the end, but I mean her, of course. Like her singing is amazing. Like she is a real talent, and I really wonder if like she wrote like the songs for this, because then it's like if she did. It's writing in styles that like you don't typically hear like a lot of her music in, and some that are more like there's a few more like pop songs, but there's some really good like different like rock ballad kind of stuff, and I know she's done that before, but I don't know if I've ever heard her write an original one, and they're all excellent. So I'm really kind of curious I didn't check it to see if she had written like the music that they perform, because they don't perform anybody else's music, and they don't really mention other like singers or anything like that. It's not like there's no Lady Gaga in this universe. It's like there's no other
It'd be
like
weird if there was.
Yeah, I don't think they really mention any other artists. Like they kind of keep it like that part simple. They kind of keep it centered around them, but. There's she does some really great songs in it. And I think the last song is probably, like, one of the best.
Whenever I see the trailers, I get reminded of the Jeff Bridges movie, Crazy Heart.
Right.
I don't know if it's that strongly connected, but just, I don't know, something about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's really neither here nor there.
Okay. But, definitely go see it. It's a really good movie, really good music, and I think, I can see Bradley Cooper getting a nomination for it, too.
He probably will now that they've nixed the Best Popular Movie category.
Oh, yeah. It's just ridiculous.
What a dumb thing to do and then to go back on. Make the decision.
Yeah. I think they just need to stay out of that altogether.
Well, the implication that the best movie can't be the best popular movie is gross.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous.
How about you get somebody judging the movies that wasn't born in 1904?
Yeah. Which I thought that they had kind of like updated that a little bit, where it's like more. Well, I thought that like part of it, like the people who pick is like past winners kind of stuff, or like where you're part of the Academy in some way.
I feel like there's probably more to it than that.
Okay.
Because that would never explain things like a lot of the awards that go out. I don't know.
Alright. But,
Some of those movies are great,
Yeah.
Some aren't.
It's true. But, this is definitely worth checking out. I'd say, definitely see this one.
Transformers never won an Oscar for Best Picture.
It's true. Most money earned.
The one with Anthony Hopkins?
Oh,
The best one?
the ones with the Knights of the Round Table
Yeah.
with Merlin.
Drunk Merlin.
Drunk Merlin. Stanley Tucci.
He wasn't Merlin.
He was Merlin.
He was Merlin at the beginning?
Yeah.
And then he becomes the robot?
I think so, yeah.
I don't think that was him.
No, it was him. They put like a wig and stuff on him. I'm pretty sure Stanley Tucci was
Well, I believe
Drunk
you.
Merlin.
I know he was the robot.
Yeah,
like the butler robot.
yeah, but I'm pretty sure like he played Drunk Merlin.
I'm not gonna hold you.
He's got range. He's got range.
He's got range.
I always liked him as an actor. I thought he was good.
Yeah, he was great in all of those awful movies he's ever made.
What awful movies?
I don't know. I could
Road to Perdition.
That Darn Cat, probably. He was
Oh
probably in that one, right?
That Darn Cat. I have no idea. Was he?
I don't know.
Hunger Games. You can't see it, but I'm just shaking my head at him right now, just like.
Just because you know Stanley Tucci's probably made some real stinkers.
Oh my god! Yeah, The Devil Wears Prada. I'm just naming
Tim,
all his good movies right now.
I'm sorry, I can't vouch for The Devil Wears Prada.
You've never seen it?
I've never seen it.
Really?
Not gonna happen.
Oh my goodness.
It's part of my. I only watch select movies apparently with Meryl Streep.
Okay. What movies? Mamma Mia?
No.
Did you go see Mamma Mia?
I have not.
Just the second one.
I'm trying to think. What Meryl Streep movies have I actually seen?
Sophie's Choice?
No.
Oh my. Wow.
Is this blowing your mind right now? I think I've probably seen less Meryl Streep movies than Nicolas Cage movies.
Well, that's...
I could probably make it more specific. I've probably seen less Meryl Streep movies than Wayans Brothers movies.
Well, wait, did you see the Meryl Streep movie that had Nicolas Cage in it?
Which one?
Which one? Adaptation.
Nope.
You haven't seen Adaptation?
I haven't seen Adaptation.
That is probably Nicolas Cage at his best. He plays...
It's Spike Jonze, right?
I'm trying to think if it is or not.
Yeah, it's being John Malkovich. Spike Jonze.
I'm pretty sure. But, everybody in that, like, Brian Cox, Meryl Streep, Nicolas Cage, there's a few other great actors, but the fact that he plays a writer, and the writer with, like, schizophrenia, it's amazing.
Okay. So he's not identical twins?
No. He is not identical twins.
So he just thinks there's another Nicolas Cage there.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert for a movie I'm never going to watch.
Oh, we'll watch it. We'll make a commentary track
I
for
saw
that.
Doubt.
Okay.
That's
a good movie.
Her 84 filmography, and that's probably the first one I saw.
Okay. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
She does a great job in that.
Wow, this is crazy. She makes so many movies I'd never be interested in seeing. Oh, I saw Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Okay.
Apparently she was in that.
There you go.
Nope.
How
disappointing is this for you right now?
Well, I'm just surprised that you haven't seen Adaptation.
Oh, there's two more that I saw that she was in. The Manchurian Candidate remake, which was terrible, and Stuck on You, which was much better.
Wait, the one with Denzel Washington?
The Manchurian Candidate remake was terrible.
Oh.
It was so terrible, Stanley from The Office would say it's terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah, Stuck on You was the better of those two movies. The one with Matt Damon and that guy whose name I forget, Greg Kinnear.
Yes.
That play conjoined twins.
Yes, I remember.
Yep. And that's about it.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, and AI. Apparently she was in AI as a voice.
Okay.
Did this just wrecked your day?
No, it didn't wreck my day.
It's been in a million
I just think
movies.
that there's a lot of movies we gotta watch now.
No. I'm good.
No. I'm gonna Clockwork Orange you.
She doesn't make
nothing
good
but Meryl Streep movies. I'll end it with Sophie's Choice.
You'll end it with Sophie's Choice?
That's right.
Sometimes I just don't understand the things that get sent on the internet. I just got a picture sent to me of a guy wearing a White Men Can't Jump jacket.
And why not?
With Woody Harrelson and Denzel Washington. Or Wesley Snipes on the back of it. I'm thinking of Manchurian Candidate. Well, I still get texts.
Yes. Which I liked Manchurian Candidate. I thought it was good.
No, it was terrible. The Liev Schreiber one was terrible.
Yes.
And it's a shame, too, because I think that was Jonathan Demme.
Was it?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. Not saying it was the best movie I've ever seen, but I thought it was pretty good. Maybe we should rewatch it.
Maybe.
But first, watch Adaptation.
Maybe I should watch anything with Meryl Streep that she's actually
I'm
good
not
in.
even saying Meryl Streep. She does okay in that movie. She's good in the movie, but Nicolas Cage in that movie.
Nicolas Cage's best role was Ghost Rider 2.
Oh my god. No.
Yeah.
No.
He created Venom.
Oh wow.
All the stuff that Tom Hardy does in that movie is just based on Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Especially that scene where they're at the restaurant.
Yeah, that's definitely something Nick Cage would do.
Yes.
He owes a lot of money in taxes.
Yes, he does. Okay. So, switching gears from Meryl Streep movies. Next week...
Why does everybody love her so much? I looked at that list of movies.
Alright,
She's like
I'm not
Hollywood gold,
gonna
right?
even justify that with why does everybody love her so much.
She was good in Doubt.
She's a national treasure, sir. Which, again, Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah, she wasn't in that one.
No.
She probably could have been good as the mother. But instead they got the other lady, the British lady.
Yeah.
The other old actress.
Helen Mirren?
Yeah. They could be up for the same roles all the time.
No, they couldn't.
Of course they could.
No.
Yeah, they could. And they could probably do the same quality work.
Nope.
Are you telling me you wouldn't watch Red 2 starring Meryl Streep?
Oh, I would. It would be different.
It would probably be the same movie.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you're don't know what you're talking about because you don't watch enough Meryl Streep
Mirren
movies.
make better movies than Meryl Streep? I think she does.
Oh.
I think she does. I think Helen Mirren makes more interesting and better movies than Meryl Streep. This is going to have to be... We'll have to make a list.
I don't think so. I think you're a little bit crazy. I think a little buddy called Oscar proves that.
I'm sure she won an Oscar, Helen Mirren.
I think she has.
Yeah.
But can you name me that movie?
Red 2.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Red 2 is her best role.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, everybody in that movie, I think, was nominated for some sort of major award for...
Razzie?
No. Oscar or Emmy. I would say everybody in that movie.
But not for Red 2.
No, for Red 2.
No.
Yeah, they had Emmy awards just for Red 2.
No. Not in a million years.
Best replayed movie on FX at 4 p.m.
Yeah, well, 4 p.m., yes, when nobody's watching. And nobody should watch that second movie.
The award goes to John Malkovich and his teddy bear rocket launcher.
Yes.
Meryl Streep could be in the same roles as John Malkovich.
Alright, now that I would watch. But...
I'd watch that.
Okay.
Meryl Streep in Con Air.
I would watch that.
Yeah. She plays Cyrus the Virus.
Yeah. Great movie.
Yeah.
But, so... moving along to something that comes out next week. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, next Friday.
Yeah. And it is a juggernaut. And they're still working on it. Like, their employees are still pulling 100-hour work weeks just to get it finished, which I find insane.
I find it awful.
Yes. And it does go back to, like, a lot of questions about, like, fair employment practices. I've heard a lot about, like, this kind of, like, stuff happens. Not just on, like, Rockstar Productions, but on a lot of big game productions, where the employees are, like, you know... It's almost like they're not told they have to, but it's pretty much like they're demanded to get this done, put in that amount of work.
They call it crunch.
Yes.
It's when they put everybody on schedule to get everything done as quickly as possible so they can put it out there and still have a day one patch. Because the game's not done. It's gone to print. It's in warehouses. It's probably going to be in stores in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Ready to be sold. I'm sure somebody will leak it on the internet.
Yeah.
I would just like to interrupt this for 1 second to say that Helen Mirren, not Meryl Streep, was in the Fast and the Furious series. And we'll continue with our talk about Red Dead. So let's just consider that when we understand that Helen Mirren is the best actress.
Okay.
For older ladies.
I figured that was going to be brought up.
I didn't even think about it. I was looking at her IMDb to see the fact that she always makes better movies than Meryl Streep, and more movies that I've seen, which is interesting, including Hitchcock, which she was great in.
She was great in that.
The Arthur remake, she was also great in.
Mm-hmm.
Legend.
Oh, I'm not saying that she's a bad actress. I'm just saying
it's weird that you think
Meryl
that she's
Streep
better.
is a good actress. They're both good actresses. There's not like this one's better than this one. Really, it's just that I'm surprised of how little you've seen the other actresses work.
That's because
considering that she is a treasure
Helen
to
Mirren
millions.
Is better.
It is not a matter of better, sir. It is merely a different flavor of tea. It all comes from the same thing, but yet each one has its own distinct flavors.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't see Helen Mirren winning every Oscar, despite the fact that she should be for Fate of the Furious.
Fate of the Furious. Yes, that Oscar-winning movie.
That was a great movie, and I think you know that you have to admit that.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not a good movie.
I believe there's a shootout with a baby carrier involved on an airplane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to say that's not the best movie you've ever seen would be
no.
ludicrous.
You're right.
And that shootout involves Charlize Theron.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason Statham.
Right.
Like two of I was going to say Europe's finest, but it's not. Because she's South African.
Yeah.
Two of the Eastern Hemisphere.
And I think The Rock and Statham's movie is, I forget when that's coming out, like probably next summer, right?
Not soon enough.
Yeah. Somebody said there was like a I think there was like a lawsuit going on with it.
I wonder what Jason Statham's second evolution is.
Second evolution? What do you mean? He's going to turn into a giant shark?
No, I mean, well, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
If
Meg 2.
Getting too close to the Meg in the first movie turned him into some sort of shark.
Yes. He grows gills because he's exposed to the Meg's blood.
Here's what I'm thinking. He grows gills and becomes a great surfer. Work with me. Shootouts while riding waves. It's the ultimate Point Break movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think they did that in Escape from L.A.
No.
There was definitely...
That movie didn't happen.
Oh, it happened. We try not to remember.
I don't think there was a shootout. I think it was just him riding the wave.
I thought there was a shootout involving that too.
I know Steve Buscemi was in that scene.
Was he also surfing?
No, he was driving his... he drives a taxi, I believe.
Gotcha.
He replaced... what was it? Ernest Borgnine? Was he in the first one? New York? The cab driver in the first one.
Yeah, I think so.
Crazy movie.
It is.
It's amazing how John Carpenter could just make some greatness and some awfulness.
I know. But you know what? He goes for it. Like Nicolas Cage does in Adaptation, which you should see.
Is there a cutoff point where John Carpenter just started making bad movies? Because I would have said, well, he hasn't made anything good recently.
There was something I saw by him. I can't think of what it was, but I was like, "Oh, John Carpenter did this," and it was actually pretty good.
I would say after Vampire $.
Vampire $.
The one with James Woods.
James Woods? Yeah. Vampires?
It's based on the book called Vampire $.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Starring the fat Baldwin.
Oh, yes.
And the girl from Twin Peaks.
Was that her?
Yeah, she's the crazy girl who's a vampire. Vampire, the one that bites the fat Baldwin. They all kind of got
I
fat.
think it's Steven. Is it Stephen Baldwin?
Stephen Baldwin was the stoner. Daniel Baldwin was the fat one, I think.
I thought it was Steven.
Stephen was Biodome.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't the fat one then. The timelines don't match up, Tim.
They all look the same to me.
Daniel Baldwin was the one that was in Homicide. It might have been William Baldwin. See, we're missing a Baldwin.
Oh, Billy Baldwin.
Yeah. So it could have been him. There could have been 2 fat Baldwins. Now there's 3, and I'm not sure about Stephen.
But what about Alec?
That's the 3rd one.
Oh, okay, alright.
He gained some weight.
He's fine.
No, he's fine. Just a little heavier than he was.
Yeah, it's okay. He looked good. Star is Born, he looked good. He was hosting Saturday Night Live.
Oh, was he really?
And it was like introducing Lady Gaga's character for the musical segment.
Oh, so he was playing himself.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, he played himself in that. It was weird. It was kind of like the weird in that way. It's like, oh, it's SNL, and he's playing himself. Like, it was like, that was kind of a weird thing. Because it was just like, oh, this is like, there's celebrity here, and these 2 people are celebrity. It was like, that's kind of that weird meta thing. I don't know. It was a
But
good movie.
Red Dead.
What? Yeah, I know, we totally we went on a weird tangent there for a little bit. Red Dead, they're putting in all the work to make everything as realistic and detailed as possible, especially those horses.
And Lady Gaga's nose.
And Lady Gaga's nose.
Which I'm pretty sure is a prosthetic in that trailer.
I don't think so.
I think it
it's
is.
her actual nose.
I don't
know.
think so.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. She's still, she's still Lady Gaga. She's amazing.
Sorry, I was just
Thinking about Lady Gaga?
I was
know,
thinking
it's so
about
hard
if
not
I've
to think
ever
about
seen her without...
makeup on?
I've only seen her in Machete Kills. I swear I've heard a million of her songs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've watched a music video.
Oh, really?
I don't think I've seen her at awards ceremonies. I've heard people talk about her meat dress. Don't think I ever saw a picture of it.
Okay.
I just don't think I ever cared enough. It's kind of like, a Meryl Streep movie.
But yet you've heard the music.
Yeah, I mean,
So that means
it's everywhere.
That means you own a Mamma Mia soundtrack.
Don't own a Mamma Mia soundtrack, oddly enough.
Just your favorite songs.
No, I only listen to ABBA songs by the Dan Band.
Okay.
Which is a thing.
Sure.
They were the ones from the Wedding Crashers.
Okay.
The ones who keep offending everybody because they put swears in their songs.
Yes.
It's a true story.
And you know who's in that movie? Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper, who's also probably going to win an Oscar for...
I don't know. I don't know about acting, but maybe best song.
Maybe even
definitely
best directing.
That could be.
Because it's his first gig with it. You said it felt real.
Yeah. No, it felt good. He did an amazing job with it. So I could definitely see that as like happening and he can get an Oscar. But yeah, so Red Dead. I mean, of course we'll talk more about it when it actually comes out. But what have you been playing lately? You've been playing some Black Ops?
I have been playing
Ops
some
4?
Black Ops. It is really good. It's exactly what you expect from a Call of Duty game with some changes.
What are the changes? Like, what's the big difference in this version?
No single player campaign
All right.
at all, which is weird because they kind of got famous for single player campaign, and then they got huge for multiplayer, which is where that went. So they know what sells, which is 3 things, but they leave it out 1.
Mm.
The 2 other things that sell are their multiplayer and their zombies, which is what this game is focused on.
And that's a mainstay of now every Call of Duty is the zombies.
Yeah, everyone since I want to say after Ghosts.
Okay.
So there was Ghosts, and they had this weird alien mode.
Alien mode?
Yeah, I want to say it was called Extinction.
Well, doesn't one of them take place in like a Mars colony or something like that? Which one?
Probably.
I forget which Call of Duty that was, but it's like futuristic.
Oh, you're talking Infinite Warfare.
Yeah.
That's We don't talk about Infinite Warfare.
No. We don't talk about Jon Snow.
We don't talk about Jon Snow. That's weird.
You know nothing, Jon Snow, on your Mars colony.
They made some bad choices.
I have no idea why they went down that road. I was like, people have done this better in a different way. I just think it's bad for them.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they had their great ghosts, which everybody disliked immediately because
Really?
It was slightly different. The UAVs were on the ground. It was the first of next gen. A lot of people don't realize that the first time you're on a new generation of consoles with a game that people are used to, there's going to be massive changes.
Yeah.
It does not matter. It's sports games are the greatest examples. Madden, the first time Madden was on 360, there were no announcers. That game launched with no chat.
With no Madden?
Like, no Madden. Madden hasn't been in it for years.
Yeah, I figured that has kind of been phased out.
But there was nothing. It was like barely any dialogue at all.
That is weird.
Because they rush, right? They rush to get it done. Now they're building it on 4 different devices instead of 2.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to split your teams up to get the coding working, and you're working on new devices, which is even more difficult. So that's why Ghost came out the way it did.
Right.
But it was solid. It was just changed. Then they put out Advanced Warfare, and everybody hated it.
Mm-hmm.
The reason everybody hated it was because they introduced the double jump.
Oh, okay. Which is kind of a weird thing to put into a game that's supposed to be slightly more realistic.
Slightly more realistic was always the case until then.
Yes.
But not anymore.
Yeah.
So after Advanced Warfare, with the best villain in Call of Duty, they hired out a super expensive villain who is now not to be spoken of in Hollywood. Kevin Spacey was the bad guy in that.
I do remember that.
Then they went, Advanced Warfare led to Black Ops 3.
Okay.
Where they were like, we're going to get everybody back, guys. Or no, I'm sorry. No. Was it Black Ops 3 or Infinite Warfare? Ghost, Advanced Warfare. Black Ops 3. It was.
Okay.
And Black Ops 3 brought everybody back around because they were like, hey guys, it's Black Ops again, only now there's double jumps. So, whatever. And it was rough. It was really rough. You fought robots and things like that, and it was strange. And then, you know what? They said, nothing could be worse than Black Ops 3, so let's put out Infinite Warfare,
right,
which was the space colony one, with actual ship battles.
In a
Call of Duty game.
I didn't know they actually did ship battles.
They did. They had it.
Where you were flying the ship?
Yup.
Like a cruiser, kind of like almost like a Navy cruiser in a space kind of thing?
No, like an X-Wing equivalent.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actual like space battles.
Oh, okay. So it's like you're actually flying. Okay.
Yeah. So that happened, and it was rough.
Wow.
And they said, oh my god, we really need to stop. But at that point, the team that really needed to stop was making World War II, which was the next game. And they were the ones who were responsible for Advanced Warfare. Because, you see, games are on a three-year life cycle with Call of Duty.
Oh, yeah.
So every third game will be marked by the changes that they've been promising for 2 years in between. So World War II was straight boots on the ground multiplayer, World War II style. The only identifiable actor that I know of in it was Mrs. Fergie, whatever that guy's name is. Josh Duhamel. He was in one of the Transformers movies. He was on that show Battle Creek, which was really good.
Yeah.
And the Las Vegas show with James Caan.
Yeah, he just did a Netflix show, I think. Or no, maybe it wasn't a Netflix show. But
he's the guy that looks like Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
But he was in it.
Yeah.
And he was like another soldier.
Fergie's husband.
Fergie. Yeah, Mrs. Fergie. That's what I said.
Yeah. Mrs. Fergie.
Mrs. Fergie.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's Mrs. Fergie, but that's what the internet calls him, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then after that, they brought it back around with this year's game, which is Black Ops 4.
Yes.
I feel like I missed a year. That's I went Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, World War II, and then Black Ops 4. Yeah, I'm right.
Yeah, that's...
And Black Ops 4 is different, again. No single-player campaign, because God forbid they make the mistake of putting a story mode in there. It requires internet at all times, which is...
really annoying.
It's not only really annoying, it's really easy to interject changes that create additional cost for the consumer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Also, they've decided this year, from everything they've said so far, which they will absolutely back down on.
Of course.
But they've said that in order to get the map packs, the only way to get them is an all-in-one Black Ops Pass, which is no longer a Season Pass. It is a Black Ops Pass. And it is $50, which is the same price they've been for 8 years.
What's the price of the game?
$60. Oh, it's a $110 game now. $120 if you buy the version that comes with the Season Pass.
It just seems like such a waste.
No, they're not making enough money, Tim.
They're making tons and tons of money.
No, they're not making any money. It costs so much money to make that single-player campaign. Oh, I'm sorry. Got confused by that. Because that's probably their most expensive thing every year to make.
Yeah.
You don't really need that many actors for multiplayer. You don't need any actors for their Battle Royale mode, which is called Blackout, which has one giant map and 88 players. So it's not even as many as Fortnite, which is weird.
That is weird.
I think they only chose 88 because they wanted teams of 4.
Okay.
And they didn't realize that 100 was also a multiple of 4.
Or maybe
that's the only reason.
Or unless that's all they could support.
No.
They could go higher, you think?
There's no way that's all they could support.
Okay.
I mean, the game looks good.
Okay.
But it doesn't look that good. The other thing they added this year, they kind of had it in Black Ops 3, but not nearly to this extent. We'll call them heroes. Every hero has an ability. So now, it is a mix between the Call of Duty you know and love.
Okay.
And the Rainbow Six / Overwatch.
Okay.
So what it is every character, there's they have different names, like there's Recon and Ruin and things like that. But
yeah.
For instance, Ruin, who's the guy I play a lot of, he's got a dog.
Oh, okay.
And his dog has a cooldown. And in order to get the dog to show up on the map, you need to get a certain amount of kills or just wait for your special ability to activate.
Oh, man.
Right? And if I'm playing Ruin and you want to get online on my team, you can't play Ruin.
Oh, really?
You can't do it. It's just like Rainbow Six. So if you main one character and you get in a match where that character is not available, you just can't play him.
That's so weird. Why not just have that
multiple ruins?
Yeah.
Because then you'd have everybody with their dogs running around, or you'd have everybody setting up barbed wire, or everybody shooting out these little recon devices that highlight guys on the map. And then when you put on your goggles for your special ability, you can see them through the walls, which is it's Widowmaker's ability from Overwatch.
Yeah, I was just about to say. Sounds like the woman who snipes.
Yes, her. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's very weird to see it in Call of Duty, but it functions really well so far. There's no real problems with the coding. It's bare bones is my biggest complaint. It is not just the lack of a story, it's the menus. It's everything about it is just here, we'll let you know when we're done. Because you can see in the menus where they are going to put the armory.
Okay.
And what the armory is it's where you go to spend your tokens.
Ooh.
And your tokens are your microtransactions.
Alright.
So that's where you go to spend your additional money. You can see it. You can see the greed back there, and they're just waiting.
And I just don't get it, because they're making so much money. They're making so much money.
But they're not making all the money, Tim. They're not making all the money.
They don't need to make all the money. Make a good game, we'll give you all the money.
Think about the fact that these big studios, they're just like Hollywood studios, right?
Oh, yeah. They have their schedules, and they have, how much, that has to be, released every third quarter or whatever it is.
Sure. But let's harken back to Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
Okay. Not the real one, the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Pearl Harbor
Right.
was a movie that was released in America, and it did decently well. It was edited to be a love story and released in Asia.
Which I love.
Right.
And would love to actually see a version of that. We
But
talked about that before.
it's a war movie,
Yes.
and it's
There's a beautiful love story with Kate Beckinsale in there, sir.
yeah. I remember when
It
she
doesn't
gets
need a
bitten
war.
by the vampire, and then she fights
That's right.
alongside
The werewolves. The
werewolf-
Lycans.
the Wolfmans.
That's right.
That's their names.
We just call them Scott Speedmans.
Scott Speedermans. Yep.
Yeah.
What happened to Scott Speedman?
He's being handsome somewhere, I'm sure.
Probably.
Yeah.
He's making Torque too.
It's Torque too. He's going to be in the next Triple X.
Oh, that would be awesome if it was like Triple X Torqued.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen the movie Torque, it does not star Meryl Streep, so I've seen it.
Again with Meryl Streep.
It's weird. That movie came out, I think, the same year as Biker Boys,
Oh, okay.
but nobody remembers Torque because it didn't have Kid Rock in it.
It didn't.
But Torque was so good. Biker Boys was so bad. Why is that?
I have no clue.
Do you think Kid Rock would have some money to buy a decent script for his film? The Kid Rock has? Yeah, from Joe Dirt alone.
Oh man, Joe Dirt.
It's pronounced Dirte.
Dirt. Why don't you speak in the microphone? Got a backup mic right here.
Joe
Oh.
Dirt's an underrated film.
Oh, it's ridiculous. But it's, mullets and craziness and
David Spade,
David Spade.
back when he was alive. Rest in peace, David Spade.
He's not dead.
He's not.
No,
No.
he still makes those movies with his buddy Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore.
That's right.
Rest in peace, good Adam Sandler movies.
Hotel Transylvania 3.
I don't think Adam Sandler has made a good movie since Hotel Transylvania 1.
1.
And I only count that one barely.
Have you seen the other ones?
No.
Well, then how do you know?
You're right. So, I don't think Adam Sandler's made a good live-action movie since since Mr. Deeds, maybe?
I'm trying to think of anyone that was pretty good. 50 First Dates, was that before that?
No, but it was terrible.
It wasn't great, but it was
It
okay.
was terrible.
It was not terrible. It was.
Terrible.
It's watchable.
No, it's rough. It's rough. How does he keep getting Drew Barrymore to come back?
I don't know. All the money that they make. Like, hey, we need to make some more money.
At some point, they have to stop making money on those, right? Like, somebody's got to know
No.
it's a bad idea.
Nope, they're gonna make 20 of them.
I remember those Sony emails that got leaked, where it was like the people complaining, and one of them was just like, "Stop making Adam Sandler movies," from inside Sony.
No, we have 10 more planned. And then Netflix started making them with them, so I don't know.
That's a heck of a deal to have gotten.
Yeah. Good for him.
At some point, he's got to make a good movie again, right? He'll have a comeback. He's gonna do the Travolta thing, where he waits till he's like 60, becomes a Scientologist, and makes a good movie again.
Yeah.
I don't think he was 60.
But yeah, so
Black Ops 4 is solid.
Black Ops 4 is solid.
Unlike most Adam Sandler movies
Yes.
past 2004.
Right.
I don't know if that's
I
when
don't
Mr.
know.
Deeds came out.
I forget. It's been a while. What about when did Big Daddy come out?
Before Mr. Deeds.
Okay.
See, even some of the ones in between were not as solid, like Little Nicky.
I don't even remember Little Nicky.
You don't remember that, where he was the son of the devil?
I know that part of it. I might have seen that movie and don't remember anything about it.
But then there's movies like The Waterboy that are infinitely quotable.
Yeah.
What I guess I'm trying to say is Adam Sandler's still relatively famous, but Norm Macdonald is kind of an unknown. How does that happen?
He made what was it? Dirty Deeds.
Dirty Work,
Dirty Work.
possibly one of the greatest films ever made.
Ugh.
That movie's brilliant.
Artie Lang hates that movie more than life itself.
I love that movie.
He was on an airplane, I think, one time, and they were playing that movie, and he basically like leaned over to the person next to him and was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm just so sorry."
Why? It's a great movie. You don't like that movie?
It has a great song in it. It's like an okay movie.
It's got a great song in it. Is
Yeah.
it the AC/DC song?
AC/DC.
Don Rickles is in that movie.
I
Chevy
know.
Chase.
I
Bob
know.
Saget directed it.
I know.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
I might go home and watch that movie.
You know what you should go home and watch? Adaptation. And speaking of going home...
You know, I could see Meryl Streep being an adaptation, but I don't think Norm Macdonald would allow her to be in Dirty Work.
I hope she would never be allowed in that movie. So we're wrapping up here. We'll be talking next week. We'll get into, of course, Red Dead 2, because then we'll finally have our hands on it. I've just finished up watching The Haunting of Hill House, but before we get into a big discussion about that, maybe we'll give it another week. And we'll save that for Halloween.
Yeah, The Haunting in Connecticut of Hill House.
Yeah.
On Haunted Hill.
On Haunted Hill.
On the left.
Yeah. Conjuring. But yeah, we'll definitely talk about that, and I'm sure there'll be some other stuff released. The new season of Daredevil is coming, so we'll definitely talk about that as well.
I'll be able to explain how good or bad Dark Souls is on the Switch by then.
Alright.
Because that is tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
I also should know some stuff about Soul Calibur, whether or not I pick it up.
Alright. Very cool. So, as always, you can find me on the Instagram, at Tim Martinek. You can find Bob at...
I'm on Instagram at Bob_Martin, Marton, and I'm on Twitter at the opposite of that. I'm at Martin_Bob.
You're going to confuse people.
I am.
Yeah. So, as always, if you want tagged in anything, I'm still doing Inktober. If you want to check out my stuff, you can hashtag Precarious Pixels. If you want to find us online, you can find us on Spreaker, Stitcher. We're also on iTunes. We would very much like to hear reviews from you on us. And we'll see you next week. So, bye.
Bye, guys. Remember, Helen Mirren is better than Meryl Streep.
I'm deleting that off there.
To do a little redesigning with us, you can find Bob at Martin, MARTON_BOB, on Twitter, and you can find me on Instagram at Tim Martinek, all one word, TIMMARTINEC. And you can join in us, have some fun, do your redesigns for this week's redesign. It's a lot of fun for us to do this, but we like to see fresh ideas and fresh artists like doing what they do as well. You can also hashtag it Precarious Pixels and we'll find it as well.